collecting his soul. Oh. Can I put on a shirt? How do I put on the shirt? How do I put on— Ah! When I'm not busy getting scared by wet floor signs and Five Nights at Freddy's security breach, what I am being scared by is the game's performance on PC. So what's going on, champs and champettes? It's FireMonkey here, and I'm going to be completely honest at the beginning of today's video. I've never been a fan of Five Nights at Freddy's. I've never really played 1 through 4, I've never played Sister Location, and whatever the VR version was, someone gifted it to me, and I was too lazy to really give that one a shot. The only FNAF game I've ever found myself intrigued in has been FNAF World, which was more of like a turn-based RPG type of game instead of the normal, FNAF sit in a room, try not to get jump scared game. So when I heard about Five Nights at Freddy's security breach, I didn't really think much of it. I was just like, oh, okay, it's gonna be another one of those jump scare type of games, until I started looking a bit more into it and found out that it was actually more of like a 3D exploration type of game, still with that whole jump scare energy in its blood. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna drop down the $40 for this game to play it out and figure out if I enjoy it or not. And as someone who, it was kind of prepared for scary jump scares from big characters like Chica or whatever, I was not prepared to turn around and see a wet floor sign that navigates itself to looking in your direction. Now, when it came to the game itself, it was pretty interesting. They have a lot of storyline, a lot of dialogue, they have some references that I probably would understand more if I played the previous Five Nights at Freddy games and looked more into the lore of those characters and stuff, but it was a pretty interesting journey overall, with a lot of nice little exploration bits, especially if you turn your gamma and brightness to the maximum so you're not sitting there in the pitch darkness. However, something that scared me about this game was the performance. I did some digging because I was having this whole entire hitching issue, and for those who don't know, I have a 3070 GPU and an i9-900K CPU, so I have a very beefy computer, and if the game was hitching for me, it's gotta be hitching for other people. And from my research, I found out that the game's hitching, the whole entire issue with this game is, one, due to the game not being optimized, not having any files compressed to, be on PC, which makes the file size larger, but also because of Freddy's model. This model was ripe to the brim with so many polygons you would think it would only be used for cinematics and renders. However, it's the actual model the game will load whenever you play it normally. So because of this, it causes the game to have a massive hitching issue, and with this Freddy model being the baseline for the entirety of the game, being there for like 90% of it, at least from what I've played, it really sucks that there is a game killer on PC that's going to tank your performance just sitting there in every single room. And now I assume that the team behind this is 100% going to fix it in the future, especially with how many complaints have come out regarding this character and regarding it tanking PCs. However, something that I've noticed is that they also seem to just not really know what they're doing when it came to this game overall. Because through my testing, I found out that you could just run into areas that, normally if you're just listening to the dialogue and looking around you wouldn't naturally do. You could just run into areas such as a recharging station that Freddy's about to go into and soft lock yourself entirely to where you're stuck inside of the recharging station with a Freddy that you're either stuck on the leg of or you're free to move around of. And the only game other than Five Nights at Freddy's security breach recently that I've actually managed to soft lock myself in has been Spider-Man Miles Morales, which just had a little bit of a bug, but comparing the two games is unfair for FNAF security breach, because security breach just seems to have so many issues that if you were to just try the simplest things because you're like, I wonder if this will break the game, yeah, you're going to end up breaking the game doing it. So in my opinion, I feel that they should have at least delayed the game for a few more months just to patch up these issues, such as, fixing the Freddy model, making invisible walls where the player can't go through but the actual animatronics can clip through or whatever, in order to fix some of these soft lock issues and the major FPS drop issue on PC. But overall, it is a Five Nights at Freddy's game at the end of the day, and I plan to play it fully through to at least figure out what the different endings in the game are, because I have heard that there are multiple endings in this game. So if you enjoyed today's video, consider subscribing to support the content I create. And for today's question comment of the day, I want to know down below, have you played any FNAF games and what are your personal opinions about the games? Now, I want you guys to also leave the community aspect of FNAF separated from the game aspect here, because I know the community is a whole nother nutshell. But with that said, my name's FireMonkey, and I'll catch you champs and champettes next time with another YouTube video. Peace out.